Hi, Mairi here from Change is Always Possible, being nibbled by midges. I now know why I don't come here in the summer. I thought the end of September might be a bit better, but it's not. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to ask you, do you come from fear or do you come from love? And because it really matters. um, when we come from fear, just think about what we're putting out in the world. When we're doing things because we fear, others might not like us, we might get into trouble, that we're not good enough, um, then that's the sort of energy that we're spreading. If we come from love, then love is what we're spreading. And it's a question, that I'd like us all to think about because the we and our world are suffering. There's so many people are unwell and unhappy, and the world is also um, unhealthy and unhappy in so many ways. And we can change that. We can change it for ourselves, and that will automatically change things in the world. So, when you're going about your day, check in with yourself why you're doing what you're doing. What is really the motivation behind it? And I think this is part of radical self care. So, are we taking care of ourselves? And are we taking care of ourselves enough so that what bubbles out of us is joy and passion and enthusiasm and all that stuff that we then can spread in the world? Love. Or are we taking care of taking care of ourselves because we should, we have to, we must, or we're not doing it at all because we haven't got time, because I've got this to do and that to do and I'm helping here and I'm got that, this thing to see to and that and blah 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 blah. Because that stuff is the stuff that's probably fueled by some kind of fear. And the way to ask is, if I stopped doing this, if I didn't do this, what would happen? If I said no, if I left it, if I just went to bed, if I do it never, if I do it next week, if I don't turn up, if I say I can't, what happens to you? These are the sort of questions that we can ask ourselves to find out what's fueling it, because underneath somewhere there's likely to be a fear. If I don't do this, X, Y, or Z might happen. And those fears, those limiting beliefs, um, come from somewhere. And this is the work I do. I have to do it with myself because I've still got a pile of them. and I it's the work I do with my clients is to try and get to the root cause of what ails us. The root cause, really, of what keeps us in fear, keeps us in stress, keeps us running, overwhelmed, not coping, feeling ill, so that we can clear it and start to come from love. And honestly, in the world, what do we want? Do we want people doing stuff because they're frightened? Or do we want people doing stuff because they're in love? In love with themselves, in love with the world, in love with others. Um, I know where I'm heading. And yes, it takes work. Yes, we've got to put in the effort. But honestly, the rewards are fantastic. I love it when I feel really good about myself. And I know that's what radiates out into the world. Not some big headed, look at me, but, just I have something to offer. I have something extra to share. I've got surplus that can overflow out of me into the world. And it's a good energy. Whereas when I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, it's all too much, I am sucking from others, or I am offloading and putting out a really unpleasant energy. And I do that sometimes, and I don't feel good about it. And then I have to check in with, where the heck did that come from and what is fueling it? Gosh, I've rabbited on more than I meant to. I hope I've got the point across. So if you are up for a bit of that, check out some more of my videos. There should be a wee link coming up down below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, or you can go over to my website, which is www.changeasalwayspossible. Check out my blog posts, and if you like, you could join my mailing list and receive my Radical Self-Care newsletter, and come and join in the changes. You'll feel better. All right, bye.